guys, welcome to my 37-week update. Today I am actually 37 weeks plus 5 days, I believe. It's Monday, so yeah, my weeks change over on Wednesdays. So in this update I basically wanted to talk about any symptoms that I've been having, any new symptoms, anything that I want to report. And any appointments that I had. I think I said in my previous video that I had a consultant appointment on a Wednesday, the Wednesday just gone. So I will talk about how, well actually there was a slight change to that appointment, so I'll talk about how that went and what happened kind of as a result of that appointment, if that makes sense. My head seems to be all over the place, I'm a bit confused. I think that comes from being almost 38 weeks pregnant, so forgive me if this makes no sense whatsoever and I'm rambling like an idiot. But I actually have my maternity notes in front of me, so I can actually talk about exactly how it went and what notes were made, just to remind myself of what did happen during my appointment, because they're getting closer together now, my appointments. I'm having more frequent appointments because I'm, you know, almost at the end. So anyway, first of all I'm going to talk about how I've been feeling or any symptoms that I've been having. First symptom probably is a lot of pressure and pain, especially when I walk. I've been noticing a lot of really low down pressure, like right in my pelvis. I keep thinking the baby's engaged, but whenever I go to the midwife she says his head is just on the brim, so his head's not fully in there, but he is, you know, right at the edge. So he, you know, it could happen in labour, because I've heard that second pregnancies can the baby's head can engage just in labour rather than before. I think with my daughter, I don't know if I mentioned this before, her head engaged. Well, I never had an appointment where she was fully engaged, because she wasn't, because I was induced, as I've mentioned before. But she was further in my pelvis at this point from about 36 weeks. But I've heard that can happen in first pregnancies, and then you don't go into labour until like weeks later, possibly even be late, overdue. That's getting worse. I'm unable to really walk very far. I can't take my daughter out very much, which I feel really guilty about, because she's 13 months now and she needs to kind of get out and about, and I feel like she's just really bored being indoors. But I feel quite short of breath actually the past couple of days, which obviously means he's still quite high up. I feel feet quite high up, like the side of my bump. I think that's where the midwife said that his feet were as well, because she kicked him when she put the Doppler on my stomach. But yeah, I'm unable to really go out much, which is a shame, because I really love walking and getting out in the fresh air. I really love autumn, so it's a bit hard, but you know, it's not going to be long now. It's just the not knowing when it's going to happen is making me a bit on edge, as I think it would lots of women when they don't really know when it's going to happen. Especially if you've not got an induction booked or a C-section booked or anything like that. You kind of, you know, you don't know what you're going to be doing when you go into labour, and that's kind of worrying me. So aside from all the pressure that I've been having, still tired, still a lot of fatigue, but that's mainly when I haven't been sleeping as well. Because sleeping isn't really a problem. It depends on if I'm up and down to the toilet. Some nights I go without going to the toilet, I kind of just sleep through the whole night without getting up. Other nights I'm up and I'm having to kind of make sure I don't fall over everything, because our room's a bit cluttered at the moment. We've put the crib up, which I'll show you a little clip of as well in this video. We used it for my daughter, so we didn't have to go out and buy a new crib. We just bought new sheets for it, and I also got one of those like baby nests that I never had with Caitlin. I never even heard of it, but I got one for this baby. So where was I? I've gone a bit off mark here. So tiredness, but not too bad. I don't feel bad today, for example. Yesterday I was really bad because I went to a party, my mother-in-law's 60th birthday party, and my daughter came as well, so obviously she was up quite late, and then we were up early the next morning. She was overtired but couldn't sleep because she was restless, and you know, I'm going off again. So anyway, yeah, yesterday I was really tired, but I slept really well last night as a result of being tired, so that's not too bad. I'm still getting a bit of heartburn, kind of on and off, not as much as before, but kind of, I've got really bad, not really bad, but I've got more cravings for like spicy food in this pregnancy. I don't remember getting any cravings with my daughter, but this one it's definitely pepperoni, curries, just spicy, anything that tastes quite strong, if you know what I mean, that has that kind of tang to it. I'm really into. I haven't really had many curries. I know that they're supposed to be good for pushing labour along, or encouraging labour, but I don't think that's true unless you eat a ton of it. Can't think of any more symptoms, to be honest. No, a little bit of nausea, but that's probably due to the fact that I'm not very good at eating very regularly, so I tend to go long periods without eating. I think it's all to do with that, and that's about it symptom wise. I can't really think of anything else that stands out to me. The main thing is the pressure when I walk and the pain. It just feels like his head is literally moving down and down and down, and I think he's going to come out, and then it kind of, I sit down and rest and then it goes away. And a couple of times during the night I've woken up with really bad cramps, and I thought, is this it? Is this labour? But the cramps are low down, and I've heard that contractions start from the top of the uterus around the bottom to the back, and mine always just felt like a constant contraction. It was like a constant just contraction. But then I got up, moved around, had some water, took some paracetamol, and it went away. So I think it was just my body getting ready, but not labour. It was like false labour. So I'm kind of able to see the difference between a labour contraction and a real contraction. And I have had real contractions because obviously I've had a baby before. But it's still blurry because I was on a lot of medication as well. Enough about symptoms and stuff, because I don't really have anything else to report along them lines. So my appointment, I had a consultant appointment booked for the, oh gosh, I can't remember what date it was for, the 27th of September, and because of the pain and the pressure I've been having, I decided to, it just felt wrong to kind of make that journey, because it's about an hour on a train and a bus, so it's not, I mean, to drive it's about 20 minutes, but to get there on a train and a bus when you're, you know, almost full term is a bit, and on my own as well, like if something were to happen on a bus in an area where I'm not very keen on, made me really kind of nervous. So I decided to contact my midwife and ask her if I could have an appointment with her instead of going all the way to the consultant appointment in it's not, the hospital where the consultant appointment is not my local hospital where I'm going to give birth. It's in a different, the same kind of area-ish, but a different place. Oh, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but you know, it's just different to where I live, but it's not, it's still in the same borough. And they don't do deliveries or anything in that hospital anymore, so that's why I'm at a different hospital now. And obviously it's my local hospital that I would give birth in. I wouldn't travel, you know, like that, even though 20 minutes isn't that far away. To me it kind of feels like it is, because I'm used to being quite close to the hospital. So anyway, I heard from my midwife, and she rang me up and she said, could I come in, because I originally asked if I could see her next week for this week, sorry. This was last week that this happened. Today is Monday, so this Wednesday I asked if I could see her, which would have been a week from when I'd rang her to ask, if that makes sense. And she said she'd like to see me the next day, because it was a Tuesday that I contacted her, and then she rang me the Tuesday kind of afternoon and asked if she could see me on the next day, on the Wednesday, which was last Wednesday, when I was 37 weeks exactly. And so I was like, yeah, that'd be great. It was like an extra appointment, because I thought that it'd be 38 weeks and then another 2 weeks, and then at 40 weeks I'd see her. But now it's 37 weeks, and then it's going to be 39 weeks is my next appointment with her. Probably thought 40 weeks as well, because that's obviously fully cooked baby. And so I went to that appointment. It was pretty much the same as other appointments. It wasn't anything different. It was just because I was feeling unwell, and I had a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but I had pain and pressure, and I didn't want to make that journey. And I had a headache that day as well, like migraine, so she was a bit concerned. I wanted to do my blood pressure and whatnot, just in case there was anything medical. So I went along to that, and she's written, I've actually ran out of room on this form now, but she's written, came to see midwife today, unable to get to the hospital, had a headache, but I didn't have a headache the day that I saw her. I felt better. Feels okay, just tired, ready for labour. Yep, pretty much right on track there. So she took the usual blood pressure, which was 100/60. I've got it all written down, so I feel quite knowledgeable. Fetal heart was 141 beats. His head down still. Obviously, I don't really think he can move anymore. He just feels so huge. And yeah, he's still at the brim. He's not entered into my pelvis anymore. Then my 36-week update. My fundal height, I think it's fundal height measurement thing, 37 centimetres, which is pretty much on track for 37 weeks. That's about it really. That's all that she kind of wrote. My urine was fine. I don't have any infections. I don't have any other issues or worries or anything like that. So it was kind of like a normal appointment, but just an extra appointment to make sure that I was okay after not feeling so well on the Monday and the Tuesday. That's basically everything. She told me to phone the numbers if I do get contractions that are close. To phone the birth centre, or unless my waters break, then I'll phone triage and then go down there. I've got all the numbers saved on my phone. My bags are all packed. I've got pretty much everything I think ready, as much as it can be. And yeah, the only other thing I'm struggling a little bit with is anxiety, and I think that's due to our current living situation and not having enough space and not having a room for me and the baby to sleep. We're kind of going to be in the living room where I am now for the first, well, until we move basically, because there's literally no other rooms that we can go in. So I'm a bit anxious about how that's going to pan out, and how I'm going to kind of be and look after my daughter in one room and then be in a different room with my son. So it's going to be quite a big adjustment. I think they both have to be in here, to be honest. But I'll have my partner with me for the first 2 weeks. He gets 2 weeks paternity leave, so I'm not going to be completely on my own. I've got my parents. That's a good thing about living with people, even though there's not much room, is the fact that there's so much support and so many people to kind of lend a hand if things get difficult, just to help us adjust that little bit instead of us being on our own with 2 young kids. Even though we wanted this is what we wanted, children close together, but it's still going to be a lot of adjustment and getting used to. And until that happens, it'll be good to be around people that we love, to support us, even if it is a bit of a tight situation. This is the crib that we had for my daughter when she was born, and this is the nest inside the crib. I'm not sure if it, I mean, I know newborns are tiny. It's kind of hard to picture a newborn when I've got a toddler, because it's like, even though it's only been a year, it kind of feels like a long time since I've had a tiny baby, or a small baby. But this is basically what I got it from eBay, and it's from like a lady that makes them in, I think, from Russia. So it's shipped from Russia, and it's just the best, loveliest quality. It came with this liner in it to protect the mattress. It's got a separate mattress, like built-in mattress, and this kind of goes over it to protect from like, and you can just put this in the washing machine. But yeah, it's really lovely. I really love it. And it's this crib swings as well. I think this is going to be going in the living room when we have the baby. I'm going to show you my bump shot for 37. Well, today is 37 weeks and 5 days.